Well, who should be the next Federal Reserve chairman? 1 in 5 economists surveyed by the Wall Street Journal would like President Obama to reappoint current chairman Ben Bernanke as Fed chief. But there's one problem. It appears Bernanke isn't interested in sticking around. Lou Dobbs is here. Are you available? What do you think?
Well, no, I'm not.
No? Not a job you'd be interested in? No?
And the funny thing is that anyone's interested a year before the job actually opens. I mean, Bernanke's doing just fine. Despite everything, why,
do you think it has to do with Jack Lew and Treasury and that relationship and some concern about where we go with
I think
fiscal policy so zeroed in right now?
If I may say, I think comparing Jack Lew and Ben Bernanke is a little tough because Bernanke has demonstrated through all.
But they have to work together.
I understand, but I mean, I'm talking about in terms of their contribution to the recovery from the financial crisis of 2007, 8. Pick your number at the end of that. I think Bernanke is going to go down in history as one of the finest Fed chairmen. I think it's really an open question as to whether he'd want to continue. He may, or certainly whether the president would reappoint him. But the fact is, he's done a heck of a job by any measure.
Love how the president characterizes Bernanke at the Fed as creative, considering all the action they've done. So do you think, though, if he does leave at the end of the term, they'll go with a dovish Janet Yellen type person or a more hawkish Richard Fisher type?
I don't know the answer to that obviously, but I will say this. I hope that we have someone as intelligent and as capable in that job after Ben Bernanke as we have had over the course of his term at the Fed. He's been remarkable in my opinion.
Switch topics a little bit. Obviously, everybody's buzzing about the president's speech this morning referring to the debt ceiling in America. We're not deadbeats. Do you think anything was accomplished? Did he advance at all? Or was it just more of the same?
I think he accomplished something. He changed his tone a bit. He acknowledged that Congress has a constitutional power and authority over the purse strings. I think it was really remarkable to hear the president actually admit that Congress had a right to its view, its opinions, and its votes. That's big. The second thing in it all was he made it very clear he thinks anyone who disagrees with him lacks common sense and good judgment. He thinks that anyone who is for guns is obviously not commonsensical, nor prudent or as enlightened as he. And thirdly, I think he acknowledged in his tone that he knows he's about to get his butt kicked in this political battle over guns because the fact is the media, this media coalition that's been formed to drive the assault on the Second Amendment, the media is not going to be strong enough to get that done. He lacks the political wherewithal to carry out.
And you think he realizes that?
I think he's beginning a sense of it. I don't think he did until just maybe the last few days. But when a man sits up there and basically says on every issue, all of his opponents are fools, and he is the only one, that God granted any kind of vision, which is, by the way, undetectable to the rest of us, he knows he's in a losing corner.
He keeps making this argument on the debt ceiling, though, that I think is so false about how we've racked up these bills and now we're trying to say that we're not going to pay them. And I think that the logical response to that is the idea, who would possibly issue you more credit when you haven't put forward a plan of how you're going to spend within your means in the future? I mean, American Express isn't going to raise your limit when you can't pay it simply because you want more credit. Like, you need to have a workout plan of how you're going to deal with your debt before someone's going to loan you more money.
Well, I love this nonsense that he was spewing about we're not a deadbeat nation. Thank you, Mr. President. God, we are so thrilled to have your blessing on that reality. That kind of nonsensical talk, nonsensical, not commonsensical talk is really the stuff. It doesn't belong in a White House. It doesn't belong in the discussion. We are a debtor nation. We have been a debtor nation for quite some time. The issue is how to change it. And I love this sort of, this capricious way in which he said, well, if the problem were just about reducing deficits, Mr. President, that's exactly what it's about. Exactly. It's about cutting spending. It's about getting this government under control and its leadership under control, I might add, as well.
That was a good interchange.
Both over on the Hill and over on Pennsylvania Avenue.
All right, Lou.
It's true.
Lot to chew on, as always. Thank you so much for joining us.
Great to be with you guys.
Yes.
Oh, you guys
Happy Monday.
You look so royal and majestic for a moment.
That's exactly what we're going for, in fact.
We're the princesses of the afternoon. All right, you can catch Lou with these two princesses every day this time. And, of course, at 7 and 10 Eastern tonight, you can catch David Keene, president of the NRA, joining Lou to discuss this ongoing debate on gun control.
Look forward to that.